Kora Band was founded in 2007 after I did a tour in West Africa with a program run by the U.S. State Department called the Rhythm Road, where they send different jazz bands abroad each year for cultural exchange. And at a club in Dakar, Senegal, we met a kora player who came to our sound check and brought his instrument, and we taught him some jazz and he taught us some traditional West African music. And it was really an amazing collaborative experience. And after I got back from that tour, I wanted to see if there was a way maybe to explore the relationship between West African music and jazz, and specifically the amazing sonority and style of the kora, his 21-stringed harp. And I met Kane Mathis, who lived in Seattle at the time. Now he lives in New York. And he has been studying the kora for many years, about 15 years, in the Gambia in West Africa. And we started to work on ways to combine the textures of the kora and piano together. And I tried to work on some elements of Mandinka music, traditional music on the piano, and of course Kane, having a Western musical education as well, is able to adapt some jazz techniques on the kora. So we started working on ways to blend these two instruments together, and then we expanded the band from there to include trumpet, bass, and drums in addition to piano and kora. The kora is a 21-string harp from the Mandinka people of West Africa, who inhabit a large territory including Mali, Senegal, the Gambia, and neighboring countries. The musical tradition dates back hundreds of years, and the instrument itself is about 800 years old. The music is played by hereditary musician families who are storytellers and who use music to praise generous patrons who support them, as well as to preserve oral history. Kora Band is really about bringing together these two rich, historically interlinked musical traditions, the West African tradition and the jazz tradition, and finding a way that they can intersect in a sort of contemporary, globalized context, and making a really unique and sort of organic combination of the sounds of these two musical traditions based on the unique experiences of everyone in the band. And I'm really proud of this album. It's our third album, and it was funded and commissioned by an amazing program run by Chamber Music America in New York called New Jazz Works, where they commission about 12 to 15 bands every year to create a new long-form jazz composition. For the individual pieces on this album, I went back into the rich tradition of West African traditional music and found specific songs that were of interest, either rhythmically or harmonically, or because they had a cool story, or were written for an interesting person. And I isolated certain elements from those that I really thought were compelling and cool, and used those as a framework for each new composition. So it's not just playing the traditional song, but it's not just coming up with things out of the blue. It's really a way of trying to bring together these musical traditions to create this new piece of music.